Hello guys, welcome to the new video on a Angular tutorial. So in a last video tutorial, we guys have understand how to use attribute directives to style our HTML components at a dynamic level using ngStyle and ngClasses. Now, from this video, we guys are going to start with ngFor as a directives and ngIf as a directives. So when it comes to ngFor is what it is a structural directives which uses to iterates over the collections. So let us imagine we have a bunch of information to be stored in our array or in a JSON file or in a list as a component in our TypeScript, and we have to make them represented on a particular template on a HTML. Well, to do with that, so instead of writing that n number of times code, we can use the for loop from the Angular, which is so called as ngFor, and we can able to write that code very easily. So in this example, we guys are going to understand on which user test cases this ngFor is going to use and how to write that code along with the template. So here we guys are going to build these template right here. So this is the template. I have 5 elements into this, and in this template you guys can see we have an image, we have some price description, we have product description. Again, in the next image also same template is going to be followed. Third, fourth and fifth image, same templates are going to be followed. Well, if I wanted to define the same design through HTML, CSS or Bootstrap or a JavaScript, what I need to do is I have to create that 5 elements in a div format, and I have to write for each and every single div right there along with different information. But in Angular, the same thing we can able to perform by creating just one div and one array or a list in your TypeScript file. So very first thing to do that steps, what I did in my files right here is we have created a component. Okay, let me show you this. So I got created a component called as product, and if you guys can see, we have added that component HTML file. This is the last ng class example that we guys have did. After this ng class, we have added this product component, and we have nothing right here in product.html.css, but I got created the array in that TypeScript file. So the array products, and we have designed this by having the 5 properties of this. First is image. I have taken this image like this. You can just go to this and just right click on this and just copy image address. Okay, just image you want. Then the prices, same information I have taken. MRP, same information I have taken from this name, that product description, and one more property I have added, that is what is available. So this we guys are going to write it using some bindings, and using ngStyle we guys are going to change that color at a runtime. So likewise, this is a first information of that card we have taken, and similarly the rest 4 information copied and pasted here along with different information but with the same attributes. Now the thing is, we have to represent all these 5 information of this array to our product HTML, and to do with that, so we guys are going to be followed for creating a template using ngFor. As we have understand, ngFor is going to help us to iterate over the array or a list. So we already got created the array in our Angular TypeScript. Now I have to iterate each and every element from the array, and I have to show that information in a specific template of my HTML, those I have created in a product component. So before working on it, you guys must have to create a component. You can take any name, that doesn't matter. And in your app.component.html, you have to include that selector, and you must have to create the array which I have already got created. Well, to do with that, so I'm going to create first div. So let me write div here, and this div is a parent div. So I write name of class of the div. I'm just going to make it say as a container. So it's adding into this. Let's say it is adding to define in a column direction and display flex, and I want to tap into this. I'm going to write, and inside this is repeatedly going to be occurs in my dynamic HTML. So I'm going to write this div, and this div I'm going to allow ng. So when we are understanding the structural directives, they are very important point that we have understood. The structural directives can be written with the asterisk. So when the asterisk comes in picture, So which means by it is from the structural directives and it can be run by the Angular compiler. And to do with that, so I'm going to write here ngFor. I wanted to iterate over my array, and the name of array is the products. So how we can able to write in a syntax, you can say let, this is the counter variable of your name of array, that is product. So it is going to iterate from each and every element. The current element is going to be stored into the product, and you guys have to print all that information inside the div. So these div can be printed 5 times, as I have 5 elements in an array on my web page, and I have to print the information here, the image with some backgrounds, then some price, then MRP and description. So I have already done that animation. So let us write it one by one. Now to do with that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one div to just printing the image. So here image source must be this source must be come from the and then so that it can be right. So the image is going to be formed, and you guys can see, so you guys can see all the images. Now you have to be apply some styles. So all images of the 5 images are shown here. Now let us apply the styles here one by one to form that respective elements. Well, what I'm going to do for this main div, as I wanted to print the 5 times, so I'm going to write a class called as, let us say, first write the CSS for the product, and then we are going to check the rest over how we can able to put for the images. Now, let me close this. I don't want to require this app component, so I require the CSS file of the same component, that is product. So here I'm creating user class called as product, and here first I'm going to write pixel. Then we're going to, so for file I'm going to write 20%. Same time, so let's write the border here. Let's say 2 pixel solid gray. At the same time, we have to set the height of the border, the background color is new, and so it is refreshing right. Okay, have some here and close it. Dot product, and this is where we have started. Okay, everything. Let me check. Okay, it appears fine. So you guys can see this is how this is appears, but we have to assign the styles to the images. Then the images will automatically right there. Well, to write the images in CS file, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to convert this div into the respective part of my CSS classes. So let me write it here. So I'm going to write a class. Let us say image top. This is the name. I'm going to write here. Okay, image or img top. And that images is right. So let me define that class image top. So inside this, first you say width as 100%, so that it is going to fix automatically. Next to that, I'm going to be mention that height. Let us say is 50 pixels. So I'm going to mention this, or you can write 250 as per your choice. And I'm going to set it to the white so that it appears that image top. Now I have the image top of image. Since we are going to set height at 100%, we will fill that into that div. We guys are to mention the outfit object property to the content so that it can appears really very well into that div with this. So I'm going to say here as object fit, and object fit must be what content. Let's check it here. So let's refresh the page. So we can see it is appears correctly, but when it comes to the width and all, it not showing that data right there. To do that changes, what I'm going to do, let's define, or let us increase the height of it. I'm going to increase by 5%. Now check. Refresh one more time, and yes, it appears correctly. There is no doubt into that. But as far as the concern, when it comes to the image and everything, the data will be got shown right here. So for information can be printed right there in available format, because we have given 25. So for that reason, what you guys can do simply here, I'm going to remove that last one product, and we guys are just going to show all these 4 product here. So let me remove this. Now you guys comments can be visible right here with all information. So it is refreshing right now. Yes, 4 informations are rightly visible. Now the next step is to print that pricing. So you guys can see we have pricing, we have MRP and description. Let us print the data right here. And to print that data, so I'm going to use again that properties, and we guys are going to print that data. So here in HTML, after printing this div, so if I wanted to assign that the image will appear at a center. It's taking time to load. All right, great. Now after completion of this div, we have printed that images. Next thing is to printed the description. Now to print the description, we guys are going to use printing the price, MRP and name, and all these details I'm print again in one. So you guys are going to assign that class description. Yes. And inside this added life. So data which will be of weeks and data. Now similar to this, we have Microsoft. I'm going to add. So let us it will appear on a screen. And then that styles we guys are going to write. Yes, it appears well. But what I'm going to do, this price, whatever the final price is there, this is MRP, we have to write line through. This must be at center. Again, this must be at center and this must be at center. So let us do that changes. First, I'm going to remove the R from the name. So let me remove this. So I have to write this desk as our CSS first, and then using the desk, we guys are going to write for the rest of choices. Now here, what I'm going to do in CSS for that desk, okay, desk in product. So I'm going to give the parent and let us say I'm given 5 pixels and background color which I'm to see, and I'm going to write for description view. You guys have to write a code for this paragraph, that is price and MRP. So for the price, I'm going to write some classes, and for MRP also I'm going to write some classes. So for here, I'm going to write a class which I wanted to write the name of class. And for this name also, we guys are going to one more class. Let us see here, the class is CSS. So this comes from description, and their parent is description and main parent is what. So you should have to provide a reference. So first sub parent and then element, let us say price. So for all this, I'm going to put margin for margin on space, so margin 0. I'm going to do for the price, I'm going to read the font bold, and I wanted to show the simple. Right now it is refreshing. Let us wait for the application. Price. So as it's not applicable, what we can write in the all page. So now let us check. So it is still refreshing, and you guys can see it is printing right there with the bold, and we have a data. I'm going to change some font sizes for this price. So I'm going to say here font size, let us say 18 pixels. So if you guys can able to establish as per your own way. So this is what for price. Now we guys are going to write for the MRP. So and the same code I'm going to copy, and I'm just going to change to MRP. I have to write the transform text transform so that it appears. Now let's check with this. It is still loading. You guys can see it appears like this. This I wanted to mention for name, so I'm going to copy this and the name. So I don't want what is bold. You guys can see this is the file writing that process, and ngFor every single data will be printed here. So I don't want to use this font weight, so it appears well on the pages. So still refreshing. So this is how it is going to be shown. So you guys can see that we have accessed the ngFor, and just we have created a proper template and we are printing the data. So one more we have also created, that is what is available. So if it is true and false, we wanted to print either available or not available. So for this dynamic attributes using my phone. So here one more div that I'm going to create for a footer, and there we have one paragraphs and add to cart button. So one more div here I'm going to write, let us say it's footer, and I'm going to mention this div along with 2 inch. One is paragraph, okay, and so you write that button paragraph. I think whether available or not, but how we are going to print available or not on this is available. If is available, it's true, then it's available, and if the if is available, it's not available, we have to print there as a not available. Now how to print this? So I have to start with interpolation first. So I'm going to write a condition, okay, this product is available. So any product is going to check it, then we are going to print this available, else we are not. Let's check this how it will appear. We will write that center. So you guys can see it is printing available because it's available for this product, here also available, and here not available for this product 3, and product 4 also it is available. So it is printing, and below to that it is printed add to cart for each and every template right here. Well, the next thing that we guys are going to do is to assign that same footer with respect to left side of availability and right side of add to cart button. To do with that, I'm going to use some bootstrap classes to fix it. So I'm going to use here class column 7, and rest of the class here, let's say it is column 5, that it must be appears to the same line, but I guess we have to provide the display flex to that div here. So I'm going to say that it can be shown only once in the column, right? You guys can see it is printing nice. It is printed the data right there. Now we have to write some CSS to that button, and to that paragraph, and at a runtime we have to change with their ngStyle attribute. So let us do with this. Now we are going to write that paragraph CSS first. So here that footer paragraph I can directly access. So I'm going to write here first class, that is what footer, and first we have to write the CSS footer, and then we are going to be mentioned. But this footer is available in product, so I have to mention that name of class as a product, and then here I'm going to mention and the flex is the row. So row is going to say margin 0, so the default it should not be taken. Now I have the paragraph. I'm going to set the font size first. So let us first set the font size as 12 pixels. Then I'm going to height to this 30 pixels and align them to the center. So I'm going to content as a center. And what I need to do is I have to available or not available can be shown. Does it appear on screen? So it is still refreshing. So you guys can see available, not available printed in that bold order format with the font size that we have given so far. Now the next changes that I have to do is for that button we are going to add the CSS. Well, this button we are going to put it disabled if it is not available, and if it is available only we are going to print that enabled right there. And to do with that, first I'm going to, so here I'm going to use footer and that button. So I'm going to write a font size to set it in very less font, and likewise the paragraph will give again say the body and one thing I do is background color I'm going to change that color is for what does it appear. So it's refreshing. Okay, so as width of 100% it is getting outside. I'm going to reduce that width, let us put it to 30. Right now it does appears with the add to cart button and every data is there, but still we have border. So I'm going to remove that border also by writing borders here. Right now let us check. It's still refreshing. So that border is got removed. Now one more thing that I need to do, if it is available then only these buttons are enabled. Go to the HTML, and for this button I have to provide that property called as it is by the value property is disabled. So it's not then it is going to be disabled, as you can see. So here we are having disabled button and all these three buttons are enabled. That is why the cursor changes right there. So one more changes that we guys are going to do. Okay, if it is available, so I'm going to change that color, background color to the green and forecolor to the white. And if it is not available also, background color we guys are going to change this to the red, and forecolor we guys are going to change this to the white. So the white is the common attribute we will have. So I'm going to write it into the CSS of this paragraph. White. And style we are going to make it. I guess in style. So here I'm going to use attribute of this style. This attribute depends on the value. So I have to change background color. So I is going to say depends on the value. So to the if it is not, then I'm going to check if it's true. Well, in that case I have said our background color has been okay. Now it's taking something, so let us wait for it. So as you guys can see, we have available and not available right there with the data. So if you wanted to make that alignment and everything, you guys are able to do it so far. So here what I'm going to do, instead of printing or assigning into the paragraph, I assign to the paragraph, that's why this entire makes a green and red. Instead of that, what I'm going to do, let us assign it to the span. Okay, so here let me copy this all the information from here, and paragraph we are not doing this right. So this here to line inside, and I'm going to put that it's still refreshing. Yes, available, not available is working fine. So if you wanted to I'm going to text align to the second appears very well. So here I'm going to say text align to the center. Right, let us check. Okay, it aligns to the center. And write some padding in the ngStyle so that it works fine. So here I'm going to say padding as I say pixels. I think that will. So we have to write using this. Or just wait. What we guys are going to do here, instead of this, let's put to the style here, because it's a universal style, not to write in any style. So I'm going to say style and check. For the span given that padding, and if it is available it comes in green, and if it is not available it comes in red. So In this example, like we have extended this ng class directive examples to our ngFor directives, where we got created one template. So this is just a one single class we guys got written along with ngFor, and how many number of products are there, the same number of times the iteration happens, and this div is added to